Hello everyone, welcome to Dr. Rajkumar Academy. Welcome to the session on Hindu newspaper where as usual I will be taking up the Hindu Bangalore edition and we will be discussing what are the important issues that are there in today's newspaper. But guys, my request to you is please ensure you have a bundle of papers with you so that when I dictate notes or when I keep on adding to it, it would be easier. We have launched this yesterday, that was 22nd 8 2022. So even that video is available, and you can also see the 23rd, that is today's video as well. But every day I'll try to ensure the basics are covered so that your understanding of the newspaper is easier, guys. So now I would request you to open your newspapers also along with me, and let us begin with the first issue that is there. So, as the first issue is about to salvage a World Cup, Supreme Court sends ball back to AIFF court. So, you might have heard about banning of India's Football Federation. So, let me briefly explain what happened so that you will understand with clarity about this. Is to ensure that cricket runs well, we have BCCI. Similarly, with respect to football, we have All India Football Federation, and this functioning was questioned by different groups, and Supreme Court had told that let us have a committee of administrators. I repeat, committee of administrators. You can see the word here in the newspaper also. See, such words are very important. The Supreme Court told that this committee of administrators will be externally driven. That means Supreme Court will appoint someone, and all these people will look into the activities of AIFF because AIFF is not functioning properly. But according to International Olympic Association and also according to FIFA, it is always important that the team must be headed by elected bodies. That is, AIFF, All India Football Federation, is an elected body, and whoever is present must be elected. They should take care. And no one externally must be monitoring such organizations. Because if external influence is there, then the game will not have any proper influence. So, because of that, they always request that it must be an elected body. But Supreme Court had told that this elected body is not functioning properly, so you must have committee of administrators. And the second thing is, even though Supreme Court was telling repeatedly, AIFF did not go for proper elections. So that also made Supreme Court to transfer all the authorities. But when this issue went to FIFA, there they told that as this is not an elected body, we call it as interference in the sports, and we ban, we ban AIF. This was given. Now, if any such body is banned, the sport activities related to that will also be affected. And India wanted to host under 17 Women's World Cup in October. And if at all we are suspended, then we won't be in a position to represent or to host the World Cup. So Supreme Court has told to help Indian government and also Indian people and players to participate, we want to remove COA. But guys, similar issue is going on in Indian Olympic Association as well. Now the Delhi High Court recently has told that it must be transferred to Committee of Administrators. But the fear is again there may be ban by International Olympic Association. So this is an issue which is in news. I would say what is important for you is next year prelims, just look at what is AIFF guys. What is AIFF? Fine. And for other exams, you must be aware AIFF full form, and it was right banned by FIFA. That is very, very important. Now, you have another issue which was very, very important. That was with respect to Islamic State (IS), Islamic State man plotting attack on Indian leader. So Russia actually has caught a terrorist who was planning to attack India. Here I want you to understand Islamic State is an organization which was present near Iraq and Syria. Earlier we used to call it as ISIS. IS, IS. What is it? Islamic State in Iraq, Syria. And now these ISIS groups have spread to some of the countries which has border with Mediterranean Sea. So ISIS is today called as ISIL, and the word L means Levant countries. This was the reason you got a prelims question about Levant. Anyways, let's come to the point. Here, this ISIS people are threatening that they will attack India right from the day Nupur Sharma of BJP was actually talking against Prophet Muhammad. So whatever is the controversy, what she said is right or wrong is a different issue. But some groups which have heard had given warning, including Al Qaeda. So Russia, our very good friend, actually Russia is a very good friend of Turkey. So one guy who is in Turkey came to Russia. From Russia, he wanted to enter into India because if someone comes from Turkey, we will be careful about them as ISIS is present there. But if someone is coming from Russia, we won't think much. This was their mindset. But Russia helped us in identifying him, and they have caught that particular leader. So nothing much to write about it. Whenever you are writing about international relations, I want you to make a small line about it. That is, like India Russia relations. If you are talking in international relations, Russia recently caught an, you can write Russia recently caught an Islamic State individual. Islamic State individual who was trying to attack India. Who was trying to attack India. Next verse. Most parties oppose voting right for outsiders. I'll just give you a very simple thing, and I hope you will understand with the help of that. Now, guys, what are these outsiders and what is the all issue, right? So, let me explain you in detail about this. See, guys, at the time of independence, we normally see that Jammu Kashmir, Hyderabad, and Junagadh decided not to join either India or Pakistan, and you're also aware about the history of Jammu and Kashmir. I don't want to get into that much detail, but there is an issue which many students might not be aware, so I'm interested to tell that. See guys, Pakistan and some tribal communities attacked Pakistan army, and tribal communities attacked Jammu and Kashmir region. Maharaja Hari Singh came to India and said, we will go for treaty of accession, we will join India, help us. Then India had promised that we will protect Jammu and Kashmir under Article 370, where there will be special status given to Jammu and Kashmir, and also Article 35A, where they had told that the population composition, demography of Jammu and Kashmir will not be altered. Fine. Population composition or demography of Jammu and Kashmir will not be changed. Right? So outsiders were not allowed to settle in Jammu Kashmir, to get citizenship in Jammu Kashmir, voting rights in Jammu Kashmir. So outsiders were completely banned in Jammu and Kashmir under Article 35A. Now, India raised the issue in United Nations, and UN Security Council passed a resolution. According to the resolution, UN Security Council said that as Pakistan attacked India first, Pakistan must withdraw their troops completely. Pak must withdraw troops completely. Second, once Pakistan withdraws, and remember, only if Pakistan withdraws, India must also withdraw troops. And guys, some troops can be there. Third, they're also talking about the troops which are being there should held referendum. And remember guys, referendum or plebiscite basically means you will ask the public whether you want to be with India or you want to be with Pakistan. Now what happened? India did not change population composition of Jammu and Kashmir. Unfortunately, in the year 1987-88, few terror groups from Pakistan and Afghanistan attacked India and wanted to kill Kashmiri Pandits. Kashmiri Pandits were told, go out of Jammu Kashmir, else we will kill you. Because of this, what happened? Many Kashmiri Pandits left Jammu and Kashmir. You might have seen Kashmir files and all those issues. So, when all these were going on, BJP told that Pakistan has changed demography of Jammu Kashmir forcefully. So, we are not going to allow any kind of referendum in Jammu Kashmir because all the Hindus who were in Jammu Kashmir has already gone. So now it doesn't make any sense for us to continue with that. So recently, Article 370 and Article 35A were removed, and outsiders are entering into Jammu Kashmir. Now, Jammu Kashmir is just another state like other 27 states of India, and India is very, very happy about this particular one. But certain sections in Jammu Kashmir is worried that the recent election commission mindset to provide outsiders voting rights in Jammu Kashmir. What is the meaning of this? Let us say you are a person who is working in Jammu Kashmir and you can actually get voting rights in Jammu Kashmir. So, election commission has told that we should allow outsiders to also vote in Jammu Kashmir, where many political parties are saying that this will change demography of Jammu Kashmir. So we should not allow that to happen. So that's what they are talking about. But the other threat is they feel the people who come from outside may be Hindus, and these people really vote for BJP, which is not in favor of them. So there are multiple aspects to look into it. But I want you to know about the meaning of demography and the issues that are present in that particular part. So now, guys, the road to China's 20th Party Congress. Now, I just want you to know the person who has written this article is M.K. Narayan. And M.K. Narayan sir has written, or who he is a former director, Intelligence Bureau, a former National Security Advisor, and a former governor of West Bengal. Now, he is talking about how elections are being held in China and what is China planning to do ahead. So he talks about what is the possibilities. So when something is about the possibility, please don't look into that issue much. You can leave that issue. Fine. And second thing is it is about China's internal politics. So not so important. If at all you are reading, keep a timer of 15 minutes and just try to read quickly to understand the English language, but not so important. And on the other hand, you have an article with respect to development of mountain areas over the years has upset the ecological balance. Here I want you people to know that in the last 1 week in Himachal Pradesh, 300%, I repeat 300% increase in rainfall has happened. Can you imagine? And if you have 300% increase in rainfall due to cloud burst, due to landslides, flash floods. So what is a flash flood? Yesterday I was telling you, in less time, more rainfall is called flash flood. Similarly, when we are talking about cloud burst is associated with a cloud called as cumulonimbus in geography. And guys, these cumulonimbus clouds will give very heavy rainfall at less area in less time. That is called as cloud burst. So now they are talking about how mountains development over a period of time, what we have made, we have cut the mountains, we have made roads, railway lines, hotels, all this. Because of this, landslides are increasing, and whenever rainfall occurs, floods are also increasing. So here they are trying to tell that it is man-made disaster, right? It is man-made disaster where we are observing that development has led to environmental issues. So guys, this article is very, very important for you. I would say make some points, like you see, I'll teach you how to make notes. Now, recently India has got 8% more than usual rainfall in entire India, guys. It will definitely help agriculture, but it will also lead to floods. And recently 25 people are killed in Himachal Pradesh due to flash floods and landslips, right? Roads are blocked, roads are blocked, properties are affected, and it tries to say that many people are affected, education, offices are severely affected, right? They're also talking about the animals' livelihood and other aspect. Fine. And then, guys, they're also talking about monsoon compresses around 75% of India's 4 months, and in some spot rainfall compared to the other areas. So I want you to have this fact in your notes, guys. Fine. It's very, very important for you to have this, right? So, while hill states such as Himachal Pradesh have certain unique challenges, the threats from the vagaries of climate are not unique to them. Monsoon rain, like cloud burst, as well as rise in frequency of cyclones and droughts. We should have early warning system. This is measure. See, for any problem, you should also suggest measures. Now, this is the measure that they are talking about. Not all of these are accurate, and often they are not provided early enough for authorities to prepare themselves. In recent years, early warnings have increased about cyclones, and success is there, guys, but with respect to floods, it is less. That's what they are trying to tell. Clear? So, those points, these words, if you can write in your answers, that must be good enough. Yes, and the next issue is about the chess. If you can just look at Pragnanand, the name associated with chess, and nothing more than that is important. Now, how narratives might change. See, guys, why you should not read some articles. Change. The author is not confirmed whether it has changed or it will change. He's predicting. In newspaper, there is no need to predict, because we are going to read current affairs every day, and if we people try to understand what is there, that's enough. Why do you want to unnecessarily read about the predictions? So let us say 2024, when it happens, we will study about it. Next, not centers of learning it. So this is about education, but not entire article will be important. But as it is about education and social justice, this issue is very, very important for us. Now, what exactly it is trying to say? See, guys, today under integrated child development scheme, Indian government has planned to support children under the age of 6. So these words must be there. Try to write down social justice. I see, like, social justice, education, and below that you can talk about scheme, Anganwadi scheme to educate children below 6 years. Fine, to educate children below 6 years. Now, this is very important. 30 million children in the age group 3 to 6 in 1.3 million centers. These numbers are important, guys. We won't get statistical data easily for social justice and all. So whenever we get it, we must use it, guys. So that is enough. Now I'll tell you the remaining things, guys. Now, these people are arguing that normally attendance is very less, right? So one issue is attendance is less. And second, Anganwadis are not better equipped. That is, facilities are not available. And then third thing, parents don't understand the importance of early learning. So they are not sending the children, and the parents feel that in the earlier learning these people will go and play. But guys, just remember, at that age they are trained to play certain things. For example, they will be given clay and they will be told to press the clay and make different shapes from it. Now we may think, what are they doing? But that is very important to build hand muscles and bones in the children. And once the children can move it frequently, and if it is flexible enough, then it is easy for them to keep a pen and write. So early learning system is aimed at preparing the children to enter into the school, especially first standard and all, and then start learning the things in a proper manner. So here the article argues that parents don't understand this, and when we ask them, the parents say that your children must study and our children must play. So what type of logic is it? So parents are not understanding the significance of sending children to Anganwadis and also ensuring that they are actively participating. But at the same time, guys, many parents send their children because midday meals are provided and some proteinous food is provided. And Anganwadi workers take care of them so that at least children have a habit of coming to school regularly. And along with this, guys, they also talk about the significance of or role of language here. So one of the basic thing they say is not about English language, it is also about Oriental language itself. What is the meaning of this? So normally teachers must try to communicate in the language of the parents. When I say language of the parents, you must be simple and you must be aware that parents are not educated, and whatever you are trying to tell them, they must be able to understand. Right? So this is one of the most important one to talk about this article. But I just want you to see here, this article also says we have sufficient empirical evidence of mindset education's own school chale hum to the Swachh Bharat campaign. So the meaning of this is education has played a very important role in bringing certain social changes as well, and it is very important to ensure participation of citizenry. We call it Jan Bhagidari, and participation of parents, that is Bhavak Bhagidari, right? To ensure that when parents are interfering, then Anganwadis may work effectively. So, because this is a very good article in today's one, I would say read it, and whatever I have underlined, those keywords must be there in your papers. Yes, the next issue is about Myanmar, and about Myanmar, they are talking about. See, yes, let me quickly talk about Myanmar. Myanmar earlier had a democracy until the military government came and removed it. And there is a democratic leader called as Aung San Suu Kyi in Myanmar. Guys. She is a Nobel Prize winner and she was foreign minister of Myanmar as well. Now recently the government removed democracy, that is military removed democracy, and at the same time the military recently killed democratic activists. That means people whoever are fighting for democracy, they are being killed in Myanmar. And the court of Myanmar has given 6 years of imprisonment to Aung San Suu Kyi. Now this is a cause of concern because Myanmar is not heading towards democracy. Earlier India was always supporting democracy, but later India realized that if we support democracy in Myanmar, Myanmar will support insurgency of India. That is, Myanmar will support Nagas, Kukis and all. And that would be a very big issue for us. So, India don't want to take any trouble here, and India is quiet. Whereas China has continued to support Myanmar in almost all circumstances. The article argues that Delhi should sit with ASEAN countries and try to resolve the problem. So it is of international relations, but it is an internal issue of Myanmar. Just remember two lines in international relations in a separate page. Indo-Myanmar you write, Indo-Myanmar you write, and below that you write recently Myanmar government in brackets military executed democratic leaders executed democratic leaders and most importantly they has they have arrested Aung San Suu Kyi. They have arrested Aung San Suu Kyi. Full stop. China has supported military, whereas India is neutral in the issue. Whereas India is neutral in the issue. Okay. So as the next issue, a center state skew further widened, a very, very important article. The arguments given in the article is very, very important. So you can write economy, division of funds between center and states. Division of funds between center and states. So guys, now let me explain the background and then come to what the article is telling. See guys, recently in the Niti Aayog, several chief ministers has raised that please give us money to implement certain policies of our governments. States are contributing to India's progress and centers taxes, but states are not given enough money. This is a complaint not from today, but it is complaint of the states from long back. But the division of money between the center and the state is always decided by finance commission. See guys, according to constitution, we have finance commission, and the finance commission will decide how much money from central government tax collections must go to the state governments, and to which state how much must come is also decided by the finance commission. They have formulas to give that. Now this article says that state government's economy is in trouble because of dual discom. Now let me explain this concept, guys. Ujjwal Discom Assurance Yojana. What does it mean? See guys, most of the state electricity boards were bankrupt. When I say bankrupt, they did not had enough money to actually purchase electricity and supply to the people. And most of the state electricity departments, their expenses were more than their earnings. And one main reason for that was freebies given by the governments. And the second most important thing was, once there is accumulation of debt, let us say this year in Bescom you have a loss of 50 crores. Next year you have a loss of another 20 crores. Next year you have a loss of another 30 crores. That means loss is accumulating. So in 3 years the loss became 100 crores. So like this, every electricity office had this issue of what? They all had this problem. Everyone was bankrupt. So under Ujjwal Discom Assurance Yojana, government told that whatever debt is there, whatever negative balance is there, you convert it into bonds. Let me say 100 crores is the debt, and 100 crores will be converted into a bond, and that bonds will be given to state government, and it is duty of state government to pay that 100 crores. Fine. So guys, now Bescom of Karnataka was having 100 crores debt. That debt will be paid by state government. So Bescom do not have any debt. Are you understanding? So Bescom is free of debt. Zero profit, zero loss. Now Bescom will start working as a new entity where they can take loans from the banks, purchase electricity, provide electricity, and also raise the electricity charges. If we do this, then electricity deficit will not be there. But when all this was paid by the state government, money with state government reduced. And some state governments went for farm loan waivers, that is, farmers' loans must be waived off. And there was also economic slowdown because of COVID, and before COVID as well, the economy was not performing well. Now, all these led to state governments' economy not performing well. At this point of time, central government also decided that states must spend more money, especially when it comes to COVID. So what happened? COVID again increased the expenses, but their income reduced. So State finance ministers are arguing that give us more money so that we will be able to run better. They also complain that during the pandemic, central government earned money by cess. Yes, cess is tax on tax. That means additional taxes that were imposed. And central government got around 78,000 crore. Whereas state governments are not given any money from this specific thing. So the state governments are requiring for sharing some money. So yes, that is a very, very important issue. Please read it from the background that I have told. No need to make much notes. But I want you to write Ujjwal Discom Assurance Yojana, Ujjwal Discom Assurance Yojana, farm loan waiver, farm loan waiver, economic slowdown, economic slowdown, and and COVID, COVID reduced state governments incomes, state governments incomes. But pandemic increased expenses. Fine, that is enough, guys, nothing much. See, guys, fearing ban, center rushes, the same aspect about the IOA. First we saw Supreme Court noticed Gujarat not required. Constitution bench to hear Delhi plea. Yes, let them hear and give judgment. It will be important for us. Supreme Court adjourns petition on Ram Setu, not required. People movement will defeat BJP, not required. Panel begins talks on MSP, natural farming. See guys, when they begin the talk, it is not important. Let them come to conclusion. Supreme Court orders status quo on OBC quota. That means they want to continue the way it is. So all this is not what Supreme Court is giving judgment. See guys, you have to read, like, court judgments and all. Once judgment is given, not in between, it is of no use. BJP offered CM post, not required. Parliamentary panels summons for tech giants. So here they are talking about CCI, guys, Competition Commission of India. And under this Competition Commission of India, when one company is buying another company, they will ensure that the company will not become monopoly. For example, today Reliance Jio and Airtel is performing very, very well. Now if Reliance and Airtel merge, then there is no alternative in the market. Similarly, if Airtel and Flipkart merge, there won't be alternative in the market. So Competition Commission of India doesn't allow such things. So here CCI, Competition Commission of India, is looking into such issues. I want you to be aware about CCI. That's enough. No need to make any notes. Bharat Jodo Yatra, Rahul Gandhi, not required. Maoist threat is on the wane, Amit Shah, not so important. Congress attempts to placate Anand Sharma, not important. Yes, there is tomato flu. We don't know what all we have to see. In that article, what are the symptoms? They are similar to chikungunya. It is high fever, rashes, intense pain in the joints. The other symptoms are fatigue, nausea, vomiting, diarrhea, dehydration, swelling of joints, body aches. This is not so important, but this is important. And then it is caused by Coxsackie virus A. It belongs to enterovirus family. Hand, foot and mouth disease is a frequent febrile rash illness of childhood caused by enterovirus. Still here it must be there in your notes, guys. Science and technology, not to get into detail, but at least this much if you can see, it is more than enough. Guys, India and Iran have signed on Chabar port. Yes, just remember in Iran, India has developed a port called as Chabar port, and both are saying that we can move. India can go there, they can come here in number of times. That is multiple times. That is what they are trying to say. So, Chabar port, if you are aware, that is more than enough. Yes. China eases visa ban in a boost to Indian students, not so important. India and Australia, they are meeting together on education. So, always, guys, with almost every country, we will have education, research based collaborations. Not so important. Respect Amit Shah and all not required, guys. UP officers selected by RSS not required. Yes, in the world news, Imran Khan charged with terrorism. This is one important issue where everywhere opposition party leaders are arranged in the name of terrorism. For example, in Sri Lanka, students who are protesting have been arrested in the name of terrorism. Right? So, this is another problem that is there, guys. And now, no need to write anything with respect to this. Fine. All these issues are not so important. When it comes to economy, guys, let me show you certain things. See, guys, auto part card FY22 sales. Here, I just want you to know sales increases and decreases, not required. Now, loan defaulters entities under probe need NOC to invest overseas. That means if you are investing outside, then first you need to clear what you are, like what you have not paid in our country. So that is what it tries to tell. It is technical, not so important. UK shrank 11% in 2020, drop worst since 1709. So here they're talking about Britain's fall, right? So just give a glance once. Don't worry about reading it in detail. Sensex and all, guys, everyday issue. Don't worry, not so important. RBI may go slow. See, may, not required. This is important. Jute tea output drops 17% due to flood and pest attack. So this is very, very important, guys. We should know that jute and tea production is affected by floods. That much if you are aware, that's fine. UPSC asked, which states are involved in this production of tea. So one of the main reason for the question is this itself. Right, guys? So after this you have sports, which is not so important, guys. So guys, these are the issues that are important. I'm not covering the newspaper just because I have to read for 1.5 hours to 2 hours, but I'm also helping you out to read newspaper in an effective manner and also make notes with respect to that. So guys, I would request you people that maintain consistency for 2 to 3 months, and after 3 months you must be able to study by your own. Every day if you follow with me, We will be trying to release this newspaper by evening, and we want you to keep a specific time, preferably in the evenings, like 8:30. You sit with newspaper along with the video, and then you listen and complete it with us. We don't want to do it at other times because most of the students might be going for classes and they might not get time to read them effectively. So I would say everyone, you can sit at a particular time and then do it. So once you people have this habit, we can also have live sessions where you can ask your doubts as well. So guys, thanks a lot. Thanks for your patience. Rajkumar Academy is going to start KPSC batches and UPSC batches for September. Interested students can contact in the address that was given below this. Fine. Thank you all. Thanks for your patience.